Hey, so I mean, what William Cooper's really brought to my attention is that the government is so obvious about covering up all these UFOs because, well, they obviously know about them and just don't have a full explanation, so they feel they can't tell us because it's a sign of weakness. Anyway, stupid Western mentality. But what William Cooper is pointing out, and he obviously was killed because of his book, Behold a Pale Horse, was that the government will exploit the alien presence and use this as an excuse for a new world order. In 1987, when Reagan said, imagine if aliens came down, and then we'd create a new world order and all of our differences wouldn't matter. Spiritually, obviously, that's a good thing, but politically, it's just a fucking different kind of agenda. So who knows, okay? William Cooper worked for the government, and now he's dead by the government, so we should listen to him, especially. But yeah, creepy stuff. But Maurice Cotterill, speaking of like the true wisdom of secret societies, Maurice Cotterill's all of his books, specifically the Tutankhamun prophecies, which I'm really getting into. Anyway, they knew about the speed of light, and they knew that it took 6.66 seconds for the speed of light to circle the Earth. I mean, in 1 second, the speed of light circles the Earth 6.66 times. And this whole nature, this nature of the beast, hell on earth, literally this is hell, but not literally, but figuratively. And 144,000 is the speed of light, okay? So light is God, and earth is 666 itself. So when everyone's saying, you have to radiate light from your forehead, and the 144,000 elect, it's not literally 144,000 people will survive a comet. It's if you represent the radiance of 144,000, i.e. your third eye, if you are of light, then you will be okay. It's not literally 144,000 people will die. It's metaphorical for you radiating light. That's some crazy shit, and it's beautiful. But also, it's in the Tutankhamun tomb, in Pacal, and of course in Revelations, they all have the same kind of mathematics, and it's not just the precession of the equinox, which they're talking about with 144. It's actual light speed itself. And so the true Masonic secret is the knowledge of the sun and of these sunspot cycles. And of course, sunspots happen at mostly around 19.5 degrees around the sun, just like the spot on Jupiter, spot on Neptune, Mars volcanoes, Hawaii. It's all at 19.5, so the Freemasonic geometry is the key to how our world works. And the Freemasons don't want to tell us because they still have that old kind of mentality of, don't show your pearls before swine, i.e. don't give knowledge just to anyone. But Maurice Cotterill and I believe, I haven't talked to him, just emailed him once, and he emailed me back about some stuff. It's awesome. But anyway, we agree that the time for secrecy is over. It's the Aquarian age, and everyone has a right to knowledge, because if you know it, you can brush it off and be like, whatever. But if you know it and know its implications, then it's like, hey, this is the real shit. And the Freemasons or whoever hiding this know, because they feel it a kind of ego boost. It's them trying to just keep it under wraps. I mean, I'm not talking about Obama or whatever. I'm talking about the real people. As Mel Gibson said, them and conspiracy theory, or what the fuck ever. But yeah, it's all kind of adding up right now, and I hope that 2012 is primarily just a pineal gland enhancement. I mean, you saw there's a graph of the rise and fall of civilizations that Maurice Cotterill found out, corresponding exactly to sunspots. The more sunspots, the higher the culture. The less sunspots, the Dark Ages. And what's crazy is that the holy number in the Dresden Codex, 1366-560, if you add that many days after the very beginning of the Mayan calendar, you add 1366-560 to 3113 BC, you get exactly like 627 AD, or right before 700 AD. That was precisely the fall of the Maya, and the Maya knew this. And what's ridiculous is that Tutankhamun himself purposefully had kind of like a female hips and elongated neck to show a feminine characteristic. Why would a masculine king want to show a feminine physical side? Because he's saying he knew that the sun gods affected fertility. There's even specifically two baby mummies. People were like, oh, Egyptians killed their kids and wrapped them as mummies. The kids were already dead, and it showed signs of like high radiation, which implies the sun. So they were preserving those dead babies to show the future. This is what happens during certain cycles of the sun. We won't be able to have babies, you know? It's literally the Dark Ages. But it's very interesting. Maurice Cotterill is totally onto something, and you got to pick up his books.